I've gotten faster on my bike. But no, I'm not talking about this bike. I've definitely not gotten faster on this bike.
Okay, so this video actually has nothing to do with road bikes. I'm actually really wanting to talk about my mountain bike. Now, really the main intent of this video is I'm wanting to show a realistic comparison of about how much faster an average rider can get in about a year time span. I was going through some footage the other day and I was comparing GoPro footage I had from 2023 to 2024. So just to add a quick little background about me, I've been riding mountain bikes for about 4 years. It's definitely the most serious hobby I've ever had. It's the most money I've spent on a hobby. I really enjoy it and I spend a lot of my time doing it. So anyways, I want to get into how I'm going to show this comparison. My local bike park is Trestle Bike Park. It's located in Winter Park, Colorado. It's essentially Winter Park ski resort, but they turn it into Trestle Bike Park during the summers. I spend a lot of time up there, and so I have a decent amount of footage. Now, I can't show you all the footage because that would just be a really long video, so I'm trying to condense it and pick a specific trail to show this comparison, and I decided on Trestle DH. For those who aren't familiar with Trestle Bike Park, Trestle DH is essentially the main downhill race trail or tech trail that exists at Trestle Bike Park. To describe it, it's moderately steep, it's fairly loose, especially with a lack of moisture. It's got a couple tech sections, but nothing crazy, a couple drops, maybe a few jumps, but nothing insane. However, it's still a legit racetrack. It's been used at, local races, and then even I think they've done a national level race there in the past. So it's a pretty good trail to do a comparison on. It's gonna point out any areas where I might have done poorly, and I'm gonna try to maybe point that out in this video. Some things I noticed between the clips that might show where some of the speed came from. And yeah, so it should be a pretty good comparison. Just to note, I'm using the exact same bike in both years. It's my old 2019 YT2S. I say old because I don't currently ride it. I switched bikes in mid-2024 season. However, at the time that this footage was taken, I was still on the same bike. Parts had remained the exact same. I'm pretty sure it's even the exact same tires. So it's a fair comparison. It's not like I heavily upgraded this bike and all of a sudden I got way faster. This is a legit side-by-side comparison. Okay, so I'm out of the garage now and I'm with my computer. I'm midway through editing this video, and basically I'm gonna start going through each clip individually and kind of talking through them. So first we're gonna start with the 2023 clip. It's the first one from the top of Trestle DH, and I marked a spot about 30 seconds down the trail. I have a tree that I marked where I'm cutting the times, and we'll go ahead and go through it. So here's 2023 first. All right, that came in at 35.7 seconds, and then now I'm gonna go into the 2024 clip. So let's look at that. Whew. So the 2024 clip was 30.8 seconds. That's about a 5-second difference almost on the dot, which is pretty decent amount of time, especially in, for a 30-second segment. It's almost 15-20% of the time, so that's a pretty decent change. Now, I said I was going to break down some of the things I noticed in some of these clips, and I didn't notice something in every clip, but I did in this one, and I'll go ahead and go through it. So if you look in this first clip from 2023, you'll notice as I'm coming into this left-hand turn, I'm super far inside, almost at like the apex of the turn. And the problem with that is it's really hard to get a smooth ride through that corner. And so basically I end up in the corner and I have to take it really sharp and I have to brake really hard, which completely kills my exit speed, and it's just not going to make you necessarily faster. Now, I'm comparing the exact same corner in 2024, and if you look, I come in really far on the right side into this left-hand turn. I'm taking it a lot wider, and so because I'm taking it a lot wider, I'm basically able to carry a lot more speed through the turn. You'll also see as I kind of continue through this footage, I'm actually gapping the next rock garden section, which I wasn't doing in 2023. And it's just one of those things where the less you're getting hung up by rocks, the faster you're going to be. So because I carried more exit speed, I'm able to actually carry through the rest of the section much faster. So next I'm going to go ahead and go to the next clip. The next clip starts with like a little rock roll in, and then I finished it at the bridge that's about midway in the top section of Trestle DH. So we'll go ahead and compare and just see how those look different. Again, I'm going to start with the 2023 clip, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so that one was actually 30 seconds on the dot. It didn't look too bad. You know, it wasn't mind-blowingly fast or anything like that, but it looked pretty average. So I'm gonna actually now compare to the 2024 clip, and let's see how much better I did, if I even did any better. Okay, surprisingly enough, it's 27 seconds on the dot as well. These conveniently both happen to be whole numbers. So it's about a 3-second difference, which is, I guess, on a 30-second segment, about 10%, which is still a decent amount. I had a harder time picking out where I maybe gained the speed here, but I did notice one thing. In the 2023 clip, right when I drop in, you can see my shadow, and in my shadow, it's really obvious that my body position is really far back. You can see my knees are super bent, and then also my butt's hanging over the rear wheel. Now, this particular section I'm going through is a little steep, but it's not that crazy steep. So a big thing that did change is my body position got more aggressive, and I think that's what kind of helped me just in general carry more speed. Now, it's not just applicable to only this section, but if I had to pick something that I noticed was the biggest factor, it would probably be that. Okay, and then there's one more section I'm going to go through. It's pretty much the waterfall section. If you're at all familiar with Trestle DH, it's like the most popular section, one of the most popular sections. It's really common for spectators to kind of hang out there. It's really easy to get to, and it's probably one of the most challenging parts of the trail. So I'm going to go ahead and go through that and compare it. But this time I'm going to start with the 2024 clip. And then after that, I'll go through the 2023 clip. And then I'll summarize afterwards kind of some of the things I noticed. So let's go ahead and play the 2024 clip. Okay, so with where I marked it, the 2024 clip came in at 22.5 seconds. Now we're going to go to the 2023 clip and see how I did in the previous year. Okay, and then in the next year it was 26.4 seconds. So that's about 4 second difference. Now there is a pretty obvious thing that happened in 2023, that being I did make a mistake in the second steep section. Now, one thing I will note is I think at the time I was probably riding faster than my abilities really allowed, which was kind of a learning thing for me, as I was seeing that I couldn't really force speed, and instead I need to ride within, I guess, my speed. And so this was kind of a common thing for me. I'd make a lot of mistakes like this. So it's a different form of progression, but it's more just showing how to ride more consistently, which is something I started doing in 2024. And yeah, so it's going to reflect in my speed, just because less mistakes, the faster you're going to be. So when I look at this, what are my main takeaways? Well, in a weird way, I felt like what actually got me faster was not trying to be faster, which sounds so weird and strange, but I had a little bit of a rough season in 2023. It was my first season I ever tried racing, and I was a little in over my head, and it didn't exactly go as I planned.
All day if we wait. Oh, that's not fuck you.
So after this, I got a little discouraged, but then I kind of, sat down, had a kumbaya moment, and, really said to myself, biking's supposed to be fun, and that's the entire intent of why I do this. I want to de-stress from my other parts of life. I want to enjoy myself. So truly, it doesn't matter how fast I am. And as soon as I did that and I just started riding my bike for fun, I just got faster. A lot of it comes from simply relaxing on the bike, not focusing super hard. I think a huge lesson I've learned out of a lot of this was you can't force speed. Oftentimes, you'll try to pedal as hard as you can to maybe speed up in between a corner. You'll come into a corner way too hot. All of that does is just breaks down your technique to where you don't have any technique. You can only ride as fast as your capabilities actually exist. And if you try to surpass that, you're just either going to get hurt or you're just going to be slower and sloppy. And I think it kind of was like a maturing moment for me. I just basically realized, hey, let's take things slow. Let's ride my ride. I started having more fun on my bike, and it actually produced more results than when I was trying. It's really weird how that works. So if there's any takeaways from this video, I think that would be it. Just ride your bike for fun. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like, comment, and even subscribe. I'm trying to put out some more content like this. Hopefully I'll have some more stuff here soon. It's a little snowy in Colorado. I'm looking forward to the summer. I'm hoping I can really put out a lot more stuff. And yeah, anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.